There we go. Okay, finally. I pressed the button, wait 10 seconds for YouTube to issue a takedown notice on this video like they did in my other channel today. I'll get to that in a second. Hello, world. I'm Chris Pirillo, and I'm joined by a few family vloggers, daddy vloggers this time around. It is my hope to be able to do these types of hangouts once a week in my other channel, which is currently a primary vlog channel. The daily vlogs are just personal thoughts, less of the geeky side of me. The reason why today's broadcast was put into this channel, which has been for the geek lifestyle stuff, more the geeky things, which is one of the reasons. I didn't need an excuse, but I'm wearing Captain America there, so I should make some geeks happy. And I'm also sitting next to the Series 12 Lego minifigures still in the baggies that I got. I got the whole set. I haven't had time to open them because I've been busy with things. YouTube basically, well, it was Microsoft who hired a company. YouTube issued a handful of takedowns today at Microsoft's hands through a third party that were seemingly not legit for videos that should not have been flagged, specifically because they had comments, or it seems that most of the videos that were flagged today by Microsoft, they were removed, or I guess taken down, and flagged as copyright violations, even though the videos themselves were fine. No one was fined that I know of. It was the comments that ended up getting these videos flagged, which is just, to me, kind of appalling. I'm like, well, I wasn't under the belief that you could get a video flagged specifically for any kind of comment, but apparently people were posting things like product keys and stuff in the comment section. So I wouldn't necessarily blame Microsoft for what had happened. I wouldn't even go as far as to blame, at this point, the people who facilitated the takedowns. I would say it seems like a pretty big failure on YouTube's part or Google's part for not facilitating it or allowing for better facilitation. Because if someone came along and said, hey, could you remove this comment, or this has been found in violation of blah, 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 just remove it. I don't care. It had nothing to do with something that I did, but I was the one that was held responsible effectively. And I don't like that. If anything's going to move me the direction of, I guess PewDiePie just reversed his stance on having removed comments. If anything would have me turn off comments, it's the possibility of getting a channel flagged or a video flagged when it was someone who commented randomly. So that happened in the other channel because I used to do tech stuff over there. And so I'm doing this live hangout over here. And now that I've explained all that, I'm going to go ahead and let everybody kind of introduce themselves. As I see them stacked up in my window, and a couple of them have muted themselves. Clintus is back the second week in a row. And so, Clintus, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Clintus McGintis, and I'm a daily vlogger here out of Phoenix, Arizona. Married with 2 kids, and we are very adventurous. We're outside of the house more than we're inside the house. We ride dirt bikes, go camping, water parks, all that good stuff. And we document our lives each and every day here on our YouTube channel. And we are on day 927 days in a row.
That is crazy. But not so crazy. It's normal for us.
It's normal now.
It's not, crazy is a good thing though. Crazy is not a bad thing. I like crazy. Eric.
All right, head to unmute. I'm here. I am here. I'm a daily vlogger, just like the rest of these guys, pretty much. I'm sure. We're on day 1,565 days in a row. We started back in 2010, I believe, after I had a bout with cancer. And I wanted my kids to see that no matter what happens in life, you can always find some happiness. So I just started, once I got healed up, I had been watching Shay Carl and the Shaytars, and I was like, oh, they're happy. He's a happy dude. He's always energetic. And I was like, I want my kids to see that their dad's happy all the time. I mean, I don't want them to grow up with thinking their dad's like, he's down on himself because he got cancer and all that mess. I was like, so we'll put it behind us because it's behind us. I'm cancer-free. We're going to move forward, and we're going to be happy every day. So we do a lot of sports. Kids love playing video games. They're trying to get me to do a Minecraft channel for them. When I went to Vlogger Fair, the best thing that they saw from the whole thing was that I talked to Basher for a few minutes, and he sent a little clip on the video, so they thought Vlogger Fair is the best thing in the world. They're ready to go next year. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just doing daily vlogs and trying to keep that happiness out there for everybody and be a good dad.
You know, that's the one thing that, you know, it really gets me thinking about. I mean, not just what the stuff that I record in our vlog, but I mean, I'm generally. I take a different approach. I guess I thought I was as energetic, but then when you see Shay Carl, you realize just how not energetic you are. I'm like, man, I could do it sometimes when I'm feeling it, but if I don't feel it, it's hard.
Exactly,
Really
it is.
But, yeah, fascinating. All right, moving along. Next in line, John.
How's everybody doing? So let's see. We've got a channel called While They Were Napping. And my wife, Heidi, my name is John Rowland, and my wife, Heidi, kind of spearheads our channel, and she's been doing it for over a year now, and it's just been growing steadily, and she just absolutely loves it. But we've got 2 boys, Aiden and Declan, and we've got a baby girl, Quinn, on the way like any single day. So we thought that I'd be joining up with this, possibly from the hospital. But alas, we are not there yet. So we are just, she's got her feet kicked up right now and just taking it easy, and we're taking walks, and we're just waiting for that to start. So we'll be there soon, and then we will be a family of 5. But we do daily vlogs, and just similar to what's already been said, we just kind of document kind of our daily lives and just raising kids. And as far as the geeks side of things go, I'm a video game developer, so I work for a major video game developer in San Diego. We're based out of San Diego, not Microsoft. And we've been doing that for almost a decade now, which is pretty crazy. So that's us.
I think just about every dad in this hangout today has got like geeky roots in their careers.
Yes.
I'm more than confident. Like, or at least they're connected in some way to, something that's, I think, tech.
That's right.
Okay, maybe having the video in tonight's video in this channel wasn't bad after all. It kind of worked. We have geeky dads or nerdy dads, whatever you want. I don't care. I don't care. Whatever label you want for yourselves, I'm fine with. So, so congratulations, pre-congratulations.
Thank you.
And I can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it, but if another one comes along, awesome. I'm thrilled with one right now. It's enough for me. I'm good to go. I'm not the kind of guy who wants to switch back, and I just want that's one. I'm good. One good cup of coffee a day. I'm happy.
Yep. How old's yours?
A month. Today.
Okay, that's right. Jedi, right?
Today, Jedi.
Yes. Nicely done.
Yeah, it was funny when we took her to the emergency room last night. Oh, I don't think I've said that. Or did I? Did I do that in TLDR today? Yeah, we had to take her to the emergency room last night, and everything's fine. Everything's fine. There's nothing horrible. She just basically stopped breathing for a second. And here's a tip, a daddy tip that I learned last night talking to the nurse. Apparently, when they do this, blow in their face forcefully, like that, it'll like instinctually cause them to inhale. It's a very bizarre thing, but we didn't know that. But she basically kind of started. It wasn't like breathing for like 20 seconds. She kind of turned a little purple, and it was just nothing. She wasn't choking on anything. It was potentially a clogged nasal passage because I guess babies will primarily breathing through the nose. So the tip that I would have is just if your baby stops breathing, there's a possibility you may need to blow in their face. Don't just do it at random. I think that would just upset the baby. And that's not something that I think anyone wants to do intentionally. Okay, so moving along to Slav.
Hi. So my name is Slav, and we do vlogs. I've been trying to do them on a daily basis, but it's kind of hard. But we do mostly vlogs of us like going out, going places, traveling. We also do paid hangouts and geeky stuff like that. So yeah.
And you showed up at the local YouTube hangout
dressed as Jake.
Dressed as Jake from Adventure Time?
Yes, Jake the dog.
I still think you looked like you were being given birth by Jake out of his mouth. I stand by that. And Slav just he had a whole beard thing going on. Like
it was really Viking-esque.
Yeah, so you now Slav's nickname right now is Babyface.
Babyface Knit Vlog Scheme.
That's a new pet name. Just very briefly, baby. So if I say okay, this question's for Babyface, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's Slav and Slav's son Adele. is in the background.
He's right there.
So it's cool. Yeah, I think everyone, like I said, everyone's kind of got a geeky connection of sorts, which is I didn't realize. This is just how it happened. There may be some more dads who join us throughout this broadcast, which is rather nice. And I'll be sure to link everybody's vlog channel in this video description. Now, I got a question for you, geeky dads, because I can say that now. Unless that offends you, if it offends you, I will like say, okay, just dads, fine.
I'll own it.
It's good. So I'm thinking. So I've had the LockerGnome YouTube channel from day one. It's just kind of like throwing anything in there, right? And it evolved to me doing some tech stuff and geek stuff and a mixture of a whole bunch of crap. And that's honestly what it was. It was just a whole bunch of crap. Like I did a video on how to use a neti pot, and this is like years ago. And I did a video of a Star Wars book, and I did a video of Lego this, and I did a video of all sorts of stuff. It wasn't just tech stuff. And then as the vlog continued to get pretty good engagement, it just became the vlog channel. Well, I'm thinking of possibly just doing more advice videos in that channel, like personal stuff, not techie stuff, but just more general advice stuff in a vlog style. And then move the vlog when we reach like vlog 1,000, because I'm just on Clintus's heels. We're at vlog. I finished vlog 901. I haven't edited last night's, but like 901, 902. I'm thinking about creating a separate vlog channel, specific, and then not moving the vlogs, but basically starting at vlog 1,000 in a completely different channel. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that. So then I'd be having like at that point 3 channels. So the reason why is because it seems to me that a lot of the people who subscribe to the LockerGnome channel it's cult of personality, it's information, it's that, but it seems to me that I could still serve that same audience in a vlog style fashion, but also help them learn and give them advice. That direction in that channel, which has got 346,000 subscribers. I got the geek lifestyle stuff, which is more the geeky, techie, nerdy, things that don't necessarily fit advice stuff. And then vlogs are almost completely, it's just that personal narrative. And it seems like number 1,000 would be a good reset point to actually launch a dedicated channel to vlogging from day one, if only to get a better handle on the audience and engagement and the type of content in that channel. Do you guys have any thoughts on how you segment your life if you do more than just vlogs, or if all you do is vlogs? Any thoughts on all that?
That's kind of tough because with us. Like, I've thought about switching them off a few times because we had, like, the boys, like I said, I have a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old. They want to do a video game channel, but I don't know if I really want to dedicate a whole video game channel at this time. I mean, they're still young, and I try to put everything in our vlog channel. So we have, like, I've talked to Clintus, like, about a week and a half ago or so, and it's like some of our vlogs, there's just so much stuff in our vlogs. It's like you could break it out into separate vlogs. We have a lot of baseball footage, especially during the season. So right now we're in fall ball, and we have at least 2 games a week, and that's like 8 minutes of vlog footage because I chop it up and only put the parts in that my son's doing things. And then we have soccer games as well on Saturdays. So it's like, I don't know, should I break that out and have a separate, like, this is my children's sporting lives growing up, this is our video game channel, and this is just our daily life stuff. I don't know. I got the same kind of conundrum.
One of the thoughts that I have is that, I think for us it's about sustainability too. We're still small enough that we kind of have all our eggs in one basket, right? So we're definitely devoting everything to just our vlogging channel. But at some point, I have a lot of musical stuff I'm doing on the side, and at some point I'm probably going to relaunch a music channel. And but we want to make sure that kind of our whole content system is in place, where we're able to sustain multiple channels if we do that. So we've talked about it and the same kind of thing, but I think, if you think you can support multiple channels, then I think you have the freedom to experiment and see if it gains traction.
Well, I spun up the Geek Lifestyles channel, the one that we're broadcasting in now, spun it up when I launched the Patreon campaign in February, and it's got 30,000 subscribers. I mean, it grew, honestly. I'm really happy with the first year's growth of this channel, and I don't do a lot. I really genuinely don't do a lot of edited video in this channel,
right?
Because I loathe editing video, and it's something that I do every day. So it pains me when I spend 2 hours, going through and getting the right everything, and then like the engagement for that video is like bupkis. Like, where did everybody go? Honestly, I can tell you, like, for the vlogs, our engagement, as much as I know we've got a really good core community, people get busy, all that stuff, I would say, like, it's almost like it's been halved. Like, I thought we were really doing well, and then all of a sudden just like, boom. And I don't know if they're not getting notifications. I don't know if, what's going on, if they're watching on an Xbox and they can't press a like button. It's really, really, it's frustrating to put a lot of time and effort into something and just seeing that you're even though you haven't really changed anything, that you're not getting, you're giving 110%, but it seems like you're getting 25% out of it. And that's very frustrating to me, especially because I hate editing video. And so I'm like, okay, fine, I'm not going to edit. I'm not gonna care as much. I'm still gonna create a good story with the vlog, but I can't spend so much time and attention on things that are just frustrating. It becomes a passion, right, of sharing your story.
Yeah. So I have an opinion on this because, like Eric, many people have just asked for my opinion in regards to this. So you guys know Lane Fornerat from the Funny Rats. He has his main channel, which is Lane Vids. And he's had that for years, and he's done like just vlogs, and he's done bits and pieces here. And now the channel's doing very well in regards to science experiments. That seems to be the thing that Google's kind of latched onto. 5 years ago, around the same time Eric started his blog, Lane created the Funny Rats channel and started daily vlogging as well. He's up to the thousands as well. And he's contemplated, like, he's actually gone so far, Chris, is to say actually moving all the vlogs to the Lane Vids channel.
Wait, moving?
Yeah, he actually thought about doing that. Like, he's like,
I would never move.
I'm thinking about re-uploading all. Like, you're talking like thousands of videos.
Yeah.
Thousands of those videos in one day in order to get the new vlog like in front of them all. Like, you basically would be mixing old with new for days, for weeks. It's just not physically possible.
Yeah, there's no way. I wouldn't even, unless there was a reason to move, I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, well, and his thought process was that audience would be able to watch all those videos for the first time. They never watched them on the first channel, right? Because his main channel has like 50,000 subs, 55,000 subs, and his Funny Rats channel I think has like 11,000 subs. So his thought process was, if I moved them over, they would automatically get more views. And I'm like, well, here's the thing, and so this is where I'm segueing into, because this is a conversation I had with him, almost the exact same scenario. And Chris, you've already kind of taken a step towards this direction, because you did when you and I talked last year when I came out to Seattle for the first time. You talked about how you just kept everything on one channel, and I had mentioned how I broke off a gaming channel. And then while I was in Seattle, me and Brent actually came up with a third channel, and that was kind of a mess. But anyways, you ended up branching off your tech stuff, and as you just said, you pulled over about 30,000 subs, whereas your main channel has what, about 300, 350?
300, yeah, 346, and it's there. I don't know why they've subbed. It's legacy shit. Pardon my French. It's legacy stuff.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So when you started doing your daily vlogs, right? You had to have gotten like a surge of like, what WTF? What is this stuff? Yeah. Right? Because you had this catalog of just tech stuff, and then all of a sudden you started implementing your vlogs in, and at some point you made the decision to spin that off to another channel, right, and making that just the tech stuff. And of course you had the Patreon thing going as well, so that kind of helped facilitate that a little bit, to say, hey, this is going to be exclusive stuff just for you guys, for those who are interested in the tech stuff. I think if you try to, and this is to everybody now, because obviously, Chris, you've already done this once, but I think if you try to break off your content to multiple channels, what's going to end up happening is, obviously not everyone's going to jump over, because you have subscribers that don't watch your videos. You have people that subscribe to your channel at one point.
They're gone. I mean, I'm serious. Like, I've got absentee subscribers, and I can't. I mean, not only do old ones get removed constantly. I mean, I've been 2006. Like, I'm such a legacy account. Like, they're all gone.
Right, and so for me, I get a lot of traction from suggested videos and search. That's my #1 traffic source. And if I actually look at my views, because you know how you can check the box and say just show subscribers, like 60% of my views come from not my subscribers.
Yep.
So if I were to jump over to a new channel and say, okay, guys, I'm going to start doing my vlogs over here and keep my Clintus channel as just whatever, I would not get the jump off would be very, very small. I gain so many subscribers from my old videos and the specific content that we produce. Like when I do a dirt bike video, those videos do great. When we go camping, when we go to a water park, they're there for the adventurous stuff. It's almost like, for me, I could stop going daily and just vlog the weekends and just vlog those adventures and probably be okay. Though I do know I have a core group of audience members that do watch every day, because I've made that comment a couple of times, like, you know, Mondays suck. Flat out, our videos on Mondays that come out on Tuesdays are horrible because we're like in a coma from the weekend. Like, we don't leave the house. Tiffany never picks up the camera because she's just kind of like the whole time.
So basically, like my average day, then, is what you're saying.
No, but the difference is, though, is your audience expects that your house. I love watching your videos because your editing style, your quirkiness, your jokes, the going to get the mail, going to get your coffee, your stuff in your car. That's your vlogs. Those are that is your life. That is your thing.
I travel.
I think my problem is my videos are so diverse that I pick up so much traction from those those specific videos that when my thumbnail is on a dirt bike, I get an automatic thumbs down and they don't watch, or they watch for 30 seconds, thumbs down, and leave.
God.
And that's okay. I mean, it is what it is, right? That is just the way my audience has grown itself. Whereas if you look at somebody like Brian Lanning, right, or even like Ellie and Jared or Cullen and Katie, these kind of new families that have come up on YouTube recently, they have a huge viewership on a daily basis. So they post a vlog, it gets 30, 60 to 70,000 views in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Because their audience came and started from their daily vlogs and just watching their daily vlogs.
And see, that's what I'm thinking about, just doing it, just launching at 1,000, just launching a separate Pirillo vlog channel, or whatever it would be called. I don't know if I'd even call it the same thing. It'd just be, I'd maybe even come up with something completely different.
Well, and so as long as you're okay and your mental model is that it's potentially going to take a year to even get to 50,000 to 100,000 subs.
I guarantee it. But they would move. The people who are used to the vlog, they would go to where the vlog is. What do they care if it's on YouTube, Vimeo, Blip,
right.
Whatever?
Right.
They would go. And I mean, just like the geek lifestyle stuff, people, I mean, it's slowly and surely, people have moved over to it, and it's been fun for this channel. But there are some people who are just laggard, and they're just not, they're not making the connection. It seems to me the only way to, quote unquote, salvage what we have here and continue to maintain the trajectory of the blog and build that community around the vlog specifically is the only option for me is really launching a third channel that's just that's just the vlog. Because we even launched Diana's own channel, and she's almost at 9,000. She's at 9,000 subs already, and she just does a video a week.
Right. Yeah, I guess, I mean, you just have to kind of look at all like what's your goal, right? What are you trying to accomplish in a new channel, and what is your projected outcome to say, okay, well, I don't care how long it takes to regain those subscribers, because you really at this point don't know how many of your 300,000 plus are for the vlog, and how many, like you said, are legacy.
Fraction. I think they're interested, but it's a fraction, and YouTube doesn't make it. They made it easier to manage multiple channels, but not easy as well. And the problem is that you almost have to have multiple channels, because I've got so many facets that I'm even confused about. Like I'm a human adult fan of Lego. And obviously a fan of Star Wars. Like, I have no place to put that, and launching a separate Star Wars channel, there's not enough there. I even at one point had launched a separate Lego channel, but just didn't have enough content or interest, and it would have taken too much to spin up. So that's why I kind of went geek lifestyle, so I had the option to do, if I want to do a Star Wars thing, or the live thing, or the Lego thing, it's all under that umbrella. But there are people who are only interested in that part of me. There are people who are only interested in the vlog for one reason or another. And then another completely different layer that it's like the whole me is the advice that I get asked for all the time. So it's difficult to segment yourself.
Well, and so here's the question I have for you, because you made the decision to break off your tech stuff. What was it that was that lever for you? Was it your statistics? Was it when you asked your community?
No, what it was knowing that there's a lot of tech stuff on YouTube, and a lot of it's the same. And honestly, there's so much negativity in the world of technology content. And don't get me wrong, I think there's an equal amount of negativity in family vlogging, and I think there's an equally amount of negativity in just about any vertical.
The internet, basically.
Yeah, and by the way, Orgasm has joined us.
Oh, hello, people.
My champion of microstops, the hashtag today. So you didn't get a takedown though, did you?
I didn't get a takedown. Yes. Yes. No, apparently they were just
for the comments. I mean, man.
I know. I didn't. You know, I'm glad they owned up to it, but at the same time, I don't know what's going on there. I mean, I don't want to derail the conversation you guys are having, but yeah, I just think that's a little bit bizarre that they're like, oh yeah, we just wanted the comments taken down. Well, to take down a comment, they have to actually have it visually confirmed by somebody. To take down a video, you don't. You basically, under perjury, say, I want to flag that video, and it comes down instantaneously. So I'm kind of thinking, well, if they were in a rush to pull stuff down, taking the video down is the only way to do it. Otherwise, they would have had to wait for somebody to verify the comments, and that would have taken too long. Conspiracy theory!
Jerry is also a daddy geek vlogger. Yeah. He's got a son.
I'm sort of a vlogger. I don't have a schedule. I just kind of like every once in a while I pick up that big, crazy looking camera.
He's the exact example of kind of where I was with a single channel, and I found that that's the problem is because there's so many segments that the vlog did not fit geek stuff. In fact, I've almost gone overboard to not mention anything about tech in vlogging. So it was like complete departure from how certain people only wanted to see me and were interested in talking about the iPhone all day long. And I'm like, I'm not interested in talking about the iPhone all day long. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
I won't create more than one channel.
iOS or Android. There's only so many times you can answer that question before you just flip your freaking lid. So, you know, my decision process, Clintus, was, you know, just knowing that there was enough of a bifurcation with me that I had to do something. And there was a question of, do I separate the vlog or do I separate the tech stuff? And because I look back at the history of the channel and most of the stuff that I had done, even though it was tech, it was very personal. And because Google Plus and that whole nightmare, I was Chris Pirillo, not LockerGnome anymore. I'm like, well, Chris Pirillo is more than just this one topic. So that's why I split out the tech, I'm sorry, not just the tech, but the geek stuff into a specific geek lifestyles arena, largely just doing live streaming, hardly any kind of edited video, putting any other kind of geeky type of video content in there. And as a matter of fact, I'm thinking about doing a weekly Apple-only show, just specifically for Apple stuff, if only because I'm tired of Apple ignoring a lot of the feedback that they're paying attention to the Apple bloggers for. And I'm like, what are they paying attention to YouTubers who are talking about Apple issues that I think are deeper than, you know, screen resolutions? I mean, they've really got to tackle a certain amount of problems. So that was my drive, is that I knew there was enough of a bifurcation. I'm just at that point now again where I've got that community. The people who are interested in me, not interested in the vlogs. People are interested in me, but they want to know my advice, and I can't be. This is the best way I can be everything I am without limiting myself to a topic. Chris Pirillo is not a topic. He's a walking Venn diagram, if that makes sense. So that was my drive.
Did you get a big boost of like support when you did this? Like, yay! Finally, I'm glad.
Somewhat. I think I got pushback. I got when I did it, when I made the Geek Lifestyle channel. Some people said, "Why didn't you spit out the vlog?" I'm like, well, I had to explain because Chris Pirillo is more than this. And so Chris Pirillo is closer. His daily life is the vlog. I mean, that's what plays out. So my perspective was the only possible answer for this is just geek stuff specifically over there. If people want it, they'll find it, and they have, and they will. So, but it's like I said, it's at that point again where if I want to do advice videos, which I'm inclined to do because I'm answering questions all the time. I just set up a new podcast, you know, or rebooted it really, largely based on people asking me questions where they're asking things that have nothing to do with any general topic. They just want my advice. And I can do that. I can do just an advice channel and just like put that in the classic channel. But then the vlogs would have to get moved to a separate place. And I think the people who were very interested in the vlogs would not just find. I mean, they'd follow me. They'd follow Twitter, so I tweet this, I tweet that. Facebook, tweet this, tweet or post this, post that. Even the app, you know, that we're in the process of rebooting for iOS and Android. So it's an issue of knowing how and when to segment, and I think it's different for everybody, but ultimately that's what the tipping point has been for me.
Okay.
Sorry, I realize this is a horrible topic, daddy stuff.
It's all right. It's important stuff.
But it's a good conversation. I mean, I don't think many people realize that there's no right or wrong answer, effectively. And if anybody else wants to address the topic or talk about it, it's fine. But I will throw out this question from Mark Heider. He asks, how do you fit work and vlogging into your lives? And that's a great question. If anybody wants to jump in, I'll shut up for a while.
Oh, I can
It is
answer
work.
this.
Wait,
Go for it. Take it, man.
You got to work to pay your bills. So I have to. That's my full-time job. I'm out there and I'm a SharePoint architect. So like my full-time job pays my bills. My YouTube is just it's a hobby now. It just feels like it's part of my life. So some days, like last week, I said I was working a ton of hours, and I was working. I think last week I recorded. I want to say it was 82 hours last week, and that's like way above what I normally would work. And so my wife, Amy, she carried the channel pretty much. She was getting all the footage during the day because when I'm at work, I'm not vlogging. It's when I'm outside of work, so I vlog. So that's pretty much how I carry it. If I'm having to work a lot of hours, my wife is carrying us. She's keeping the vlogs going, doing fun things with the kids, and getting that happiness out there in the vlogs. And then whenever I'm home, I do my best to not be crabby if I'm having to work a lot of hours or something, because nobody wants to watch somebody be crabby on YouTube. I mean, you can do that in your regular life.
Yeah, but how do you go the opposite route? How can I be more happy? Like I'm trying to reset myself mentally with this. I mean,
Drugs.
horrible idea. Image of J. Carl in my face. Like, Jerry does a good job too. Jerry's usually pretty on. Huh?
I do all right. But I don't vlog as much as you guys. You guys are all the hardcore wake up, grab the camera. The only time you set it down is when you like go to the bathroom or if you're having like a mental breakdown. Sometimes in Chris's
That's
case.
when Jerry picks up the camera when he goes to the bathroom.
But
I pick it up when I go to the bathroom. That's me. I try to be a little different, you know.
Yeah, but it's like for me, it's like I like the sarcasm and the biting and the humor and the whips and the dry approach. And that I enjoy that. But I see it, I'm like, it looks like I'm dour, and there are some days. Ask Liz. She sent me something yesterday, and I said, "Sorry." I snipped back, and I'm like, "Sorry, I'm dour." I'm like, just was not. Things weren't happening very well yesterday.
I don't post the angry vlogs. I've had vlogs where I pick up the camera and it's like I'm about 15 minutes in and I'm like, yeah, that probably isn't going to be too good. And then I play back on the computer and all I'm doing is walking around and I'm like, bleep, 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 bleep. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to keep that in the private collection. We'll save that for the blooper reel in 20 years.
Yeah, before we went daily and I kind of dubbed it a family thing. I mean, if you dig deep enough, there's F-bombs, there's all kinds of colorful language because it was like, this is my channel. I'll say what I want.
Oh, so you're like Jerry.
Oh yeah.
I own this corner of the internet. This is my internet.
Exactly. There's one video called Anger Management where I go off because basically for like a week or two I was vlogging about vlogging. I was like, what should I vlog about? What do you guys want to hear? This comment said this. This comment said that. And someone like replied back one time and said, stop talking about vlogging and just vlog. Just do it. Right? The Nike slogan. And so I got fired up about that. I'm like, I'm so retarded. I go, and I'm just like F. And like, so that's like a turning moment for me back then. That was like 2008 or something. But no, what really for me to the question at hand here is kind of like Eric. I try to vlog a little bit in the morning, kind of like an intro, like morning, because in my mind now, the audience almost expects it. It's almost like a show, right? So it has a beginning, middle, and end. Not every day, because life happens, and sometimes you forget to say good morning, and the first clip of the day is, holy crap, this just happened. Like yesterday, actually. Today's video starts off with a car crash that I'm driving by, and I'm driving slowly by, because obviously the car wreck and the cops are standing out there and stuff. But I'm like, oh, that guy's starting, that's a bad day right there, or something like that. Like, that's how the video starts, because like I hadn't said good morning or something. But yeah, when I'm at work, there's not a lot of stuff going on. I might get a clip here or there when I go to lunch, or if something at work's happening, because the people at my job do know that I have a YouTube channel and that I do vlog every day, and I've actually come walking through the halls and hear my voice, like someone's watching my video. Like, that happens.
That's creepy, man. That happened to me too. And I still to this day I'm not used to that, man. It doesn't matter if I have like a 500,000 hit video. It's just when I hear it, I'm like, what? It's weird.
Yeah. So that's the thing is
while I'm at work, not so much is happening. And just up until recently, I mean, the vlogs usually started at 4 p.m., 5 p.m. That's when the day started, was because when I got off work, that's when I pulled the camera and said, hey, what's up, guys? Blah, 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 blah. And, you know, the audience doesn't know the difference. It doesn't really matter. Again, I would try to do something in the morning, something in the middle of the day, and then the rest of the day would be when we got home. But now my wife actually, you know, taking pointers from Amy there, she does do more in regards to capturing stuff with the kids in the morning. I basically just told her, get me something to work with, because something's better than nothing. If I don't need it, I'll delete it.
Yeah.
But if I don't have anything, then, you know, I've got nothing. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's hard at work while I'm working, but it does happen. I do sprinkle it in from time to time.
For me, I try to overly vlog. Like on days when I'm vlogging, I try to record like even just stupid little stuff, and I'll edit probably close to 50% of it away.
Yep.
When I'm doing it, it's just nice to have all those little clips because it kind of helps glue stuff together. And if you know if stuff's lacking, you get creative editing and have some fun with it.
Exactly.
So, yeah, no, I find that works for me. I still don't understand the daily vlogger guys though, man. I couldn't imagine waking up every day with the camera and doing something, because you know how do you vlog on the day where all you do is just like wake up, go take a shower, and lay in bed for 12 hours watching Breaking Bad? Like, how do you...
those are the boring days. We got some.
Like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna vlog one of those days just for the hell of it. Every clip's just gonna be a pause and be like, yeah, Walter White just did something. Yeah, Jesse Pinkman.
Every day. I didn't even know. Yesterday, I didn't even pick up the camera until we got back from the emergency room at 5 in the morning this morning, and then it was just like straight. And so I'm gonna be basically kind of clipping through, but it was. I didn't have time. I had nothing. I couldn't do anything. I was just couldn't do anything. And today was just about the same.
I want to do like a 5-minute vlog. I want to do a vlog where it's not the vlog is 5 minutes. It literally takes me 5 minutes to shoot the entire vlog.
I was
gonna pick up the camera, run around my house, jam some toast in my mouth, jump in the car, peel out of the driveway, and be like, done. Yeah.
That's called a one-taker.
Is that a one-taker right there? All right. That's what I'm shooting for, one taker.
Here's the thing. I asked my audience at one point and said, hey, guys, so I feel like I said earlier, like our Mondays, which go up on Tuesdays, I feel are so blah compared to like what you just saw on Saturday and Sunday, right? And I asked them, like, you guys want me to just like skip these days? Like when we don't do anything, because there's days we don't leave the house. To your point, Jerry, like there's days where we don't leave the house, right? And the kids are in school and I'm at work, so the day starts at 4. I come home and all I want to do is play video games. Or I've got to work, right? There's days where I come home and I'm shooting like 3 promos in the living room, and then I got to sit down and edit them, and the next thing you know, it's dinner and it's bed. And like I look around going, holy crap, where'd everybody go? What did happen today? And I've got 2 minutes of like 3-4 clips of blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And the audience, for the most part, my engaged audience are like, no, that's your life, dude. We want to see it good or bad, right? If that's what you did today, then the video's short and sweet, and have a nice day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I've posted some really horrible vlogs before where I personally like edited it. It was only like 5 minutes, and I stretched it to get 5 minutes out of it. And I posted, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be horrible, and then it ends up being like some of my best vlogs. Like the people enjoy it, and I think it's because they sense that rushed nature, and it's more real, and it's less produced, and you can tell because it's like when you don't have a lot to work with, you just stuff everything in there. And you're like, oh god, that's god awful. But I tend to do that. That's something that I have a problem with, not only in my vlogs but in my regular tech videos. Is I'll completely overshoot the mark. I'll overproduce stuff. My freaking cell phone review I did was an hour and a half long when I started editing. I was like, why did I record so much footage? This is like so ridiculous. And I do this every time. Then I post it. I'm like, oh my god, this is it. This is the train wreck. This is gonna destroy me. And then it'll be like 50,000 hits in 24 hours, and I'll be like, they like that? Like, so I'm a horrible judge at what people like and what they don't like. So I just try to convince myself, just get it out there. Don't second guess yourself. Just get it out there. And for the most part, it works. Every once in a while, it backfires and bites you in the ass. But, you know, for the most part, it's good.
And James has joined us, too. He's edited videos with lightsabers. Well, not with lightsabers. I mean, he made it such that it looked like they were lightsabers. Okay, James was there, and then he used the chair. Oh, he grabs a lightsaber. Got it.
Hey, turn it on, dude. I want to see it. No, just kidding. He's like, After Effects crash. Damn. Dude, I need to paint my whole room green. I keep seeing everybody with green screen. You know what? That looks remarkably realistic on camera.
Mine's not lit up, but here's mine.
Sorry. I knocked the camera there. Sorry.
Chris, that looks pretty realistic on cam, dude.
It does, very.
Well, it is realistic. It's a lightsaber. It's not exactly like a toothpick.
Oh my God! Every time Slav comes into focus for a second, I'm like, I don't even recognize him.
I know.
He looks like he's 14.
I look like I'm 14.
You do. I mean, you sound like you're 14, but at least before you sounded like a 14-year-old with a beard. Come on.
He's baby face.
He is.
Oh, guys.
Boy, I bet you can't get jazz off you, can you, bro? Jeez.
Wow. Is that like a fantasy theory?
What's that, bro?
Nothing.
Oh.
She said I look like her boyfriend now instead of her father.
Oh.
True story. Couldn't have said it better myself.
If anybody has any questions, feel free to pop.
Yeah,
We've kind of addressed what we've.
There's a few dropped in the chat there. The next one says, what drives all you dads to vlog daily or vlog in general?
Now it's the baby. Just for real. I mean, honestly, I'm logging
For me,
a lot
I
of
guess-
that experience.
I think for me, it's just I like the attention. I mean, I'll be honest. I like the attention. Nobody does YouTube because they don't like attention. That's why I always laugh when I see the comments on the video. It's like, you're just an attention whore. Well, yeah. That's like, I create videos and put them online so people will watch them. Like, that's the whole point. Oh my God, people. But no, it's fun because it prompts interaction, and you know, some days I won't even make a video. I'll literally just sit on social network the entire day and just talk to my audience. It's fun.
Or troll all day.
That's how mine started. I mean, I was making movies and doing music videos back in 2006, and I was on a site called Text America. Did anyone ever use Text America?
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Wow! Holy cow, dude! That old.
So for you youngins,
I still have photos taken on the phone that I posted to Text.
So do I. Yeah. So Text America was like the first
Heard of this?
mobile photo site.
Yep.
And this is before apps, right? This is like the first. My first camera phone actually plugged into the bottom of the phone. It was a little camera. It was on my keychain. It was a Motorola flip phone, and the camera plugged in the bottom, and that's how you took photos. And then eventually, it was built into the front. But anyways, you take a picture and you would text it to this website, right? Because essentially, a multimedia message, right? MMS is your phone number at whatever Verizon, AT&T, whatever that is. It's essentially an email. And so you would text it to this website, and it would post it on your page. And essentially that's what became Flickr, because they closed down their shop, and everybody jumped over to Flickr. And you could do the same thing. You could post your camera photos. And, of course, everyone on Flickr hated it because we were, like, spamming all these crappy...
I've already dropped the S-bomb today.
crappy camera photos.
You broke that mold.
Hey, you guys need to stop saying shit. This is a family show, okay? Just kidding. I just had to get mine in.
But yeah, so I was they right before they closed, they started letting you do video, and so I was uploading little 320 by 240 clips shot from my Canon camera of like my behind the scenes of my movies, and like this is what behind the scenes of a movie really looks like. You know, people sleeping on the floors and eating out of crusty old pizza boxes, and then they closed down, and Flickr didn't have video, so I was like, well, crap, I like doing this. I like sharing these videos kind of behind the scenes, like make my own little documentary. Where can I host them? And of course, I had a WordPress blog, and so I was looking into hosting them myself. It was a pain in the butt. And I found YouTube, and I found Blip TV, and so those were the first two sites that I kind of started sharing videos to. And ultimately, I went with Blip TV because they gave you more share options, and the quality was better, and the player was better. They were just better all the way around. Yeah, they were just better all the way around. And so, my biggest regret, looking back, hindsight, I left YouTube multiple times. In fact, I am here today because of Chris Pirillo and iJustine. You don't remember this? PodCamp 2008, 2009?
Oh, yeah. No, I remember driving down like one of the strips in Phoenix there, yeah.
Yes. So we were on a panel. It was me, Chris, iJustine, and Brent Spohr. And we're talking about vlogging, blah, blah, blah. And Justine calls me out. And she's like, except for Clintus, because he hates YouTube. And Chris was like triple take, like, what? You're a blogger and you don't use YouTube? Like, we need to talk about this.
Well,
dude, I went through my YouTube hate phase.
Okay, but wait. What Clintus, and I mean, the fact that you call that Text America is hilarious, because I still have those photos. I still have them. I had a Nokia. It was like it was just about the only Nokia camera phone. And in the front of it, you had a big screen, and the numbers were like a dial. It didn't dial, but the numbers were like in a circular pattern. Right. That's all I remember from it. So back in the day when vlogging was a thing, or became a thing. We're talking about, I remember Steve Garfield, who's certainly still involved with video at a pretty substantial level. Bree Pettis, who's since moved on to MakerBot, was a big video blogger. And there was an issue of people wanting to go with their vlogs going independent because there was a question of why give this content to YouTube when you could host it yourself. And so that's the reason why a lot of people back then made the decision, a conscious decision, I think was probably the right one, to not use YouTube as a platform because they had their own idea of the idea of control and knowing that it's your thing, etc. What I recognized early on was there were more people who were at YouTube who didn't know who I was than anybody else out there that I could get to. So for me, it was a chance of engaging with a community or an audience that otherwise would never know who I was.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. Is like I said, I boycotted YouTube because one of my friends, Steven Zotti, right? You know Steven Zotti.
Yep.
So they were featured. Their show Epic Foo was featured on YouTube's homepage, and Zotti is an African American, and it just was a bunch of racist, like derogatory comments. And this is before blocking and deleting comments and all that stuff. There were no filters. It was like you could say whatever you want, get away with it. The trolls of YouTube were in full steam ahead. And I took it personal. I was like, screw YouTube, if this is what it's like, I'm going to go to Vimeo because they heart my videos. They heart my videos. I get nothing but love over in Vimeo. Like, screw YouTube.
Don't get me started on dislikes. Do not get me started on dislikes.
I stopped posting. Thankfully, thank the tech lords, I did not delete my channel. But I stopped posting for like 8 months to a year. I have a whole summer vacation that's not on YouTube that I regret today, obviously. But then after your conversation, Chris, and even Justine, when I remember that same conference, both of you guys were like, even if you don't use YouTube, you should still post to YouTube and just keep your content there. And you challenged me. You said, post one of your videos to Vimeo and do whatever you normally do. Tweet it, Facebook it, whatever. And then post the same video on YouTube and just leave it there.
Really? Did I say that?
You did. And
I'm bold.
What the time frame was, if it was like, it wasn't a month, but maybe like three months, like 90 days or something like that. The YouTube video had almost as many views as the Vimeo video, just by organically people finding my channel, linking to it, blah, 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 because it was more people on YouTube. And so I totally forgot where this conversation was going. Oh, why you're vlogging.
Yeah.
Derail, bring it back.
I've derailed it.
No, but so I started vlogging because of the behind-the-scenes videos. I found YouTube, found Blip, blah, blah, and so then I just, over the years, after your conversation, focused back on YouTube, it was just moments of my life. It was either something on my mind, sharing it with the world. It was sharing a moment with my kids, because at the time, Sierra was like 2 or 3, and Bryce wasn't born yet, so Bryce's whole birth and defining all the cool, like everything you went through, Chris, Cullen and Katie, Jared and Ellie are getting ready to go through, like all that stuff. I did that back in like 2007, 2008, and no one knows about it because like it's buried. And now it's like the cool thing to do. It's like I'll have a kid and put it on YouTube. I was the first. Yo. So it's just about sharing my life, and to Jerry's point, I'm an attention whore, and the fact that thousands of people watching me every day, it just strokes my ego.
Yep.
So,
real quick to follow up on that with Peter's question, Journey's Life Vlogs, he was saying what drives us or whatever. Mine is I'm getting to go back and look back and see everything my children are doing. Like they can go back and I can see Jacob's first home run he hit. I can go back and see the first soccer goal that Xander scored. I can watch him learn to talk properly and everything. I mean, it's just being able to see all those moments in life and be able to relive them.
Absolutely. Because again, I have all of Bryce's whole life is on YouTube. All his firsts are on YouTube. Sierra's her teeth. I mean, heck, I pulled one tooth live. She was screaming on live like this. I pulled her tooth live. Like that stuff is there, forever YouTube.
No, I couldn't agree more. That's one of the huge reasons I started vlogging. When I first started doing YouTube, I was actually posting my college videos where I did film in college. And so my really horrible short films I did back in college are still up on my original YouTube channel. And that's when I first really started getting into YouTube, was doing action shorts and visual effects stuff, because that was my passion back in the day, or it still is. But that's how I got into the whole YouTube world. And then I stumbled upon vlogging somehow. I don't even remember how I found it, but then I started really getting into vlogging and finally decided to start doing it about a year ago now. And like you were saying, just being able to see where my daughter was a year ago compared to where she is now. In fact, just yesterday, me and Ash went back and watched a bunch of videos, and it's crazy how different she is from 12 months to 2 years old. So that's a really cool thing, and I can't imagine what it's going to be like in another couple years to go back and see it. So I can't imagine you guys have been doing this for 4 years or whatever, going back and seeing your kids. That's got to be crazy.
It's actually, for me, it's the opposite direction. It's like I can't wait till my kid gets old enough to watch all my stuff.
Yeah, see, I like
and be like, wow, Dad was actually kind of a cool guy back in the day, you know, because I'm going to be like this old crotchety dude when he's a teenager. He's going to be like, wow, Dad was actually kind of a fun guy back in the day, and he can call me on it and be like, why aren't you like that anymore, you old crotchety bastard? You know, it'll be fun.
See, I don't know. I guess, you know, for me, and this seems to change on a regular basis, it's not really something that I thought I would ever do. I didn't even want to vlog. Diana dragged me into vlogging, kicking and screaming, and I thought no one's ever going to care. And now it's taken on a completely new life, and I don't just mean intentionally, like a new life. Who's playing with a? It sounds like someone's got a harmonica. Is that me? Not a harmonica, but a kazoo.
Yeah, someone's got some feedback.
Someone's kazooing. Is it me?
I don't think it's me.
I don't hear anything.
It's you.
Every time I hear the noise, I see his little bar going up. So
Yeah.
I can't tell. Someone's kazooing. So
I don't kazoo.
it sound. You know what I mean? A little kazoo.
I don't kazoo.
I think there's a value in capturing home movies because I always enjoyed home movies when I was a kid, and to know that what we're taking and putting together is something that is going to be not. There's a personal value to it, apart from obviously a bit of exhibitionism because you're putting it out there. So
don't
I
use
think
words like
accurate.
that, Chris. Come on, geez.
Well,
oh,
that's what
man.
you're talking about, you narcissist, you.
Yeah. I like that word better.
True. There's negative connotation in anything, but it actually kind of dovetails into.
Chris, I am not narcissistic in any way.
No,
shape, or form,
you only
okay?
have to
I'm just saying.
of yourself. It's interesting because there's a question, and they're two different questions. C. Murphy Life asks, do the daily vloggers keep and back up all the footage they record and the stuff they cut out, or just back up the final videos and delete everything else? Abraham asks in tow, do you record everything, and how much time do you spend editing? I don't record everything, but I spend a good hour to 2 hours editing, processing, uploading, preparing, not to mention the time that it takes to record footage that I believe is worth sharing. There are times that I'll go through something and realize I'm just repeating myself. Why am I putting this here again? There's nothing that's interesting, apart from me just sharing my thoughts. And I'm getting better with the vlogs in not just getting a certain shot that I like of an autumn tree or one of the dogs or baby Jedi, but actually processing and speaking through something that I'm thinking about and trying to translate what's in my head and have that come out in words and make sense. And sometimes there's a challenge, and I think vlogging is a good platform for that, or at least a good medium, to know what you're thinking and to be able to communicate it effectively in a transparent, in a very genuine way. And that sometimes is difficult to do, and that's where I find myself thinking, okay, I need to try that again, and I'm not going to hold on to that footage. I don't hold on to a lot of extraneous footage. Once I have a final vlog that's published, that's it. Everything else is gone. I don't keep anything else.
Dude, I'm lazy. I keep like everything. I just dump it in a folder. I make the Premiere file. I publish it, and then I just create a new folder and do it again. So I probably have like everything I've ever recorded for like the last 6 months just sitting on a 15 terabyte array. I'm a digital hoarder. That's what I am. That's a good classification.
You're a hoarder.
The only things that I'll keep are birthday footage, like I said, Jacob hitting a home run, like that game or whatever. I'll keep that footage so he can go back and look at whatever he wanted to from that footage. But everything else, like the regular daily stuff, once it's on YouTube, it's on YouTube.
We're the same way. Yeah, once it's edited and together, that's all we keep. I mean, it would be so much stuff to have to catalog and everything.
Yeah.
Although we do have a SmugMug account, and that's been fantastic because it's completely unlimited video storage, and we just push it all up and just, that's our backup.
Yeah, plus you can always download everything from YouTube again. I do that every once in a while. I go out there and got some program that just pulls everything down at 1080p, and then I've got these nice, small, tightly compressed files that I can archive. But I don't even know why I really
totally.
love the
We
original.
keep our best moments in the edit, and then we don't worry about the rest.
That's true. Yeah. You don't want those bad cut moments to ever be seen. Yeah.
We'll
So
spend
the
the rest
ones
of
where
our
you're like
life.
yelling at your kids and you're having like a mental breakdown. Yeah, those moments. Yeah, we just throw those away. They just drag them right over into that little recycling bin.
That didn't happen,
Nobody will
right?
ever know because everything you see in our vlogs is who we are, and
That's
never
right.
anything different.
I spend about an hour, half an hour to an hour a day editing. Depends on how much footage we have. Obviously, the weekends we're busier, so I'm shooting more footage. If it's like 20 minutes to 45 minutes of the footage, that takes me obviously a little over an hour because I go through the whole thing and then I come back and watch it again, like kind of like hands off. Like this is what you're gonna see, so I'm watching it with my film production eyes. And basically, going, oh no, that doesn't look right. That was too long. That snip, and then it encodes and uploads while I'm taking a shower and getting ready for work and blah blah blah. And then sometime in the middle of the day, I log back in and tag title, schedule, and commenting throughout the day.
Yeah. So I'd love to be able to do it that way, as far as like being able to edit and rewatch it and kind of refine it a little bit. But by the time I get around to editing, it's usually like 11 o'clock, and I have to get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, you know what? All right, that looks good, perfect. And then I'll look at it the next day, and I'll be like, oh crap, I forgot to move my audio around. So it's like the music doesn't even match up with the scene. What's going on? It's just whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say I only watch my videos back when they're already like published in public.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I watch it all the way through. It's like I edit it. What I do is I edit it, and then I do jump cut. I go back 3 seconds. I play it just to make sure the jump cut was in the right spot, and I just do that over and over and over and over again. Get the end, upload it, and then sometimes I'll upload it, and it's like I'll forget to trim it at the end, and some music will be too long. It'll run long. It'll just be black screen for like a half an hour, and I'll just be like, meh. Whatever, and then those videos blow up because everybody in the comments is like, hey, you idiot, you forgot to cut your video. Hey, you suck, you fail at editing, and then everybody jumps on them, and I'm like, wow, now the comments are frenzying. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, I've done that.
Mistakes are rewarded on YouTube. It's true.
It's
Lane's
true.
here.
Oh my god, that guy's
Come on, Lane.
Oh my god, don't scare me like that, bro.
What's
All
up,
I see
y'all?
is wacky waving arm inflatable tube, man.
Who else could it be?
What's up, y'all?
I have a Darth Vader that kind of does that, but it doesn't it doesn't do this.
You would have a Darth Vader that does that, Chris.
I need
have a
one.
Darth
They need
Vader
to- They
that
need
does
to make a Darth Vader like that the lightsaber does this, the
Yeah.
movement thing.
So the next question is, do you ever fear that your kids are too young to be put online?
No, I actually what I fear is the people who don't respect other people, and whose parents don't teach them to respect themselves and other people. Those are the
Yeah.
people I fear.
Yeah.
So like,
when
I
we
don't know,
first-
25, 30% of the internet we're talking about here? Like, what?
Like,
25.
when we first
That's
started-
that's conservative. I was
Yeah,
thinking it's more like
talking about the
99%.
average viewer? Like,
When we
Oh my
first started
God,
doing the
Peter.
vlogs, we had we gave our kids nicknames. Like we didn't use their real names at all. And then I don't know, maybe like 2 years ago, it was just like, if people want to find out information, Google is you can find pretty much anything, especially with me being in technology and being out there. I mean, I've been in the technology business my entire life, basically my working life. So I've got all kinds of stuff out there. If you start searching for me, you're going to find whatever you want to find about me. We just try to parent our kids and be with our kids. We don't let them walk off with strangers or whatever. We're always with our kids, so it's whatever.
If you think about it, too, it seems like everyone puts their kids online these days. They just don't do it in video form. If they're on Facebook and they're putting pictures of their kids online, it's all there,
Yep.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah, just recently, this last year, the kids started getting noticed, here and there in public. There's a camping spot that we go to 3 or 4 times a year, and like if you Google their name, it's all my videos.
Yeah.
And so now people are like, when they ask me, hey, how'd you hear about us? Like, oh, your YouTube videos, and they're like, we don't have YouTube videos. What are you talking about? So they Googled it one time, saw all my videos, and were like, holy crap, Clint's awesome. Like, he's advertising for us.
Right.
So we go up there now, like they're like, you're the video guy, dude. You're the one who does the videos for these guys. And I'm like, yeah, and the kids get recognized, and that kind of thing. But yeah, now that they're getting older, they're getting recognized in public and whatnot. And to Eric's point, I've always used their first names, and so it's out there. And the kids at the schools see their videos because, again, like I said earlier in the stream, 60% of my views come from non-subscribers. So people are finding my videos every day, searching for random stuff. The very first time I ever got recognized was a little girl at a froyo place, and she's like, I saw your Sky Zone trampoline video. Like, I'm going to Sky Zone this weekend. So I Googled it and YouTubed it and saw your video, and like your videos are awesome. And that's how she found me, because she was going to Sky Zone, so she did a search for Sky Zone and found my video.
That's crazy.
So random people all the time, and I'll ask them too, like, hey, so that's cool. Do you watch our videos? Like, no, I watched a couple of them. I searched for blah blah. They may not necessarily be hardcore fans, but we've got enough now that I think. Like I said, the kids are getting recognized, and it hasn't been weird yet. Like, it hasn't been like a crazy adult that Because I asked Shay Carl at one time, actually at Vlogger Fair last year. I asked, he did his Q&A. I asked him, in all the years of his vlogging, has he ever had like a bad experience towards the kids? And he said no, he hasn't. And he's lived in multiple states, and LA. Where celebrities are everywhere, like
Well, I think there's to a certain degree there's not a protectiveness of kids, but I mean for good reason. I mean there are people who would mean anybody harm, but kids are just generally kind of hands off, and like it's kind of an unspoken rule, like to go after it just doesn't. You'd expect one kid to do it, but an adult wouldn't be in his or her right mind to go after a kid. I mean, if only because they're protected, they're children, they're minors, right? And as long as the parent or the adult is not putting the child in harm's way, I don't see an issue with it. I mean, if only because you're not spreading anything. I mean, if the parent's out there saying, here's a loaded weapon, point it at your forehead and see what happens. Like, what the what are you doing? No one's doing anything like that. Now, to this point, this actually brings me to another point. Slav, you yes. and Jasmine found this guy who's apparently got a history of kind of tracking down kids and having them do dares. What's going on with that on YouTube and social?
Basically, it was through a subscriber. It was through a subscriber, and we have some young kids that subscribe to us too, because I do some like Lego stuff and fun stuff like that. And he was being dared to do some stuff. He was disabled, and I guess this guy targets disabled kids. And it's this thing that happens on YouTube where adults will use dares to target kids and have them, it starts out innocent. Hey, I dare you to take a video. With him, it was, I dare you to video your feet for 4 minutes and post it up. And then when I tell you, delete it and take it down. And then it slowly escalates from there. And so we kind of started reporting this guy and trying to take this guy down. And the most recent thing is, I guess, we've reported him, and the police in his area have been contacted and stuff like that. But it's something that a lot of people don't know about, and I guess it's one of the scary things about YouTube, because, I mean, we have Adele. He's 4 years old, and he goes on YouTube, and the thing is with him, we monitor everything that he does. Everything that he does is out in the open where me or Jasmine can see. So that's something that's kind of important, to make sure your kids are also monitored. So, I mean, he's in the vlogs. We've said his name. People know him. They've commented about stuff that he does, and it's fine. I think all the attention he's gotten has been positive.
I feel like more and more parents, as time go on, are starting to understand the dangers of the internet, just because of the mainstream media talking about it and everything.
Well,
it's not different from when I was a kid. When I was a kid and I was on the internet, my parents didn't even know the computer could like dial out over the phone. It's like half of like the first year I had my computer, I was like dialing up Prodigy. I was on bulletin board systems. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like 11, 12 years old, like downloading the porn images with the Z modems, and my parents had no idea that they'd pick up the phone and be like, and they'd be like, what's going on? I'd be like, oh no, here, I'll fix it. Hold on. Oh, okay, they'd never even question it. But it's not like that anymore. But there are still parents out there that don't really understand just how dangerous the people are that are out there. I mean, sexual predators hang out online. That's what they do. It's their easiest way to connect with people without being out in the open where they have to outrun a fit cop with a taser, So you have to be aware of that. And me, I have a disabled child. I mean, he has PDD-NOS. It's a form of autism. And so he's incredibly gullible. If you're like, hey, come here, Xander. Hey, get in the car, Xander. He doesn't care who you are. He'll do it. So I got to keep an incredibly close eye on him and go out of my way to really, really try to teach him about the whole stranger danger and everything like that. But he's never out of our sight. It's one of those things where it's like he doesn't even go outside and play alone or anything like that. Like the neighbor kids, he's 4.5. The neighbor kids, at that age, they were outside and playing in the street and stuff like that. It's like, Xander, no, he's on a tight leash. And he will be for a very, very long time, mainly for that reason. It's just people can't be trusted. I mean, they just can't.
Well, and the whole thing is, you put locks on your doors, you put locks on your windows, you try to protect your kids, you get a security system to protect them from people
coming in. A couple guns, a few thousand rounds of ammo, yeah. Totally.
There you go. You get your guns and ammo and all that. But, people's computers are completely wide open. Nobody's protecting them.
They are.
Yeah.
And that's the scary, scary thing.
Yeah, it is.
We've had interesting conversations, Heidi and I, even just about our oldest son, Aiden, because he's a very social kid, and he's like, we'll just be out and about, and he'll still be with us, but he'll introduce himself to the person at the restaurant in the booth over. He's just a very friendly kid. And it's like there's an element of that we don't want to shut down because it's his personality, and I think he can leverage that in some cool ways. But at the same time, it's tricky to kind of teach that balance of you guys were talking about the stranger danger and all that. It's as he's in an age appropriate way that a 4 and a 5-year-old can kind of understand how to discern between what to do and what not to do in those situations. It's kind of tough.
Yeah, there's some smart kids out there.
What's that?
I said there's some smart kids out there though. I mean, I've encountered like Slav's kid. He's a smart little whip, dude. He knows how to work that manipulation card and everything. Like, you watch out, Slav. When he gets older, dude, you're gonna be like a very poor man.
What are you talking about? I'm already a very poor man.
You're already. Oh, I'm sorry, Slav. I didn't mean to bring that up. He had to cut his beard because he sold the hair for like a little bit of money. It's like I know that was a tough subject.
I get it.
Slav,
it's locks of love for men that can't grow facial hair.
There's some kid out there with a wig that just looks like it's like really coarse, like afro.
What are you talking about, Jerry? I packaged it up today, and it's coming your way.
Oh, is it coming my way? Oh, thank you, Slav. I appreciate it, bro. Oh my God, but no, with Xander, everybody's kids, it's going to be different. But the bottom line is, whether you have them online or whether you have them out in public or you have them at the public park, there's always the potential for predators. But the truth is, over the internet, it's as easy as unplugging a cable. You don't have to chase somebody down and throw rocks at their cars and call the cops, or no shots fired. It's just it's a lot easier for you to regulate. But you have to be aware. You have to be monitoring your kids. And the thing that pisses me off the most, and Chris is kind of touching on this a little bit earlier too, was that you have that teenage crossover. You have the kids that get a little bit older, and then the parents start going, okay, my kid, he's walking to high school. He's responsible. Everything he tells us is true. Let's just go let him, have his own computer in his room and do whatever he wants. And next thing you know, that kid's trolling people on YouTube, sending death threats, hacking, falling in with groups like Anonymous and things like that, and getting recruited. And you have no idea any of this is going on under your nose, but your kid is destroying people's lives for the lulz, if you will. And and then they might get older and they might realize what they did was wrong and they might feel bad about it. I'm going to be honest. I did some pretty horrible shit when I was younger, but internet was just new. It was brand new. Nobody knew anything. It was like everything was a learning experience. Oh, what's this anarchist cookbook? Let's download this. See what this is all about at age like 13. I'm sure I can make all the right decisions about mixing brake fluid and Windex and all that. The internet is at least matured a little bit beyond that. Back then, nobody had any idea of what was going on. Now there's a lot more going on. Things are more traceable, but ultimately, it's the parents that don't keep an eye on their children and the parents that just inherently trust their children to make all the right decisions. That's a bad move. I don't care how trustworthy your kid is. When Xander's like 14, 15 years old, oh, don't get me wrong, I'll cut him some slack. He'll have some privacy, but there'll be some audits in place. There'll be some things going on. And Xander, if you're watching this when you're 15 years old, you're being monitored right now, buddy. I see every from your laptop, all right, buddy? I'm just saying. You know, and I just wish if everybody did that, it would be far less of a problem. But it's just a lot of parents don't know it's a problem. They just trust their kids. It drives me nuts. Like, I'm not saying don't trust your kids, just don't give them that much leash to choke themselves with, you know?
A lot of it, too, is how new the internet is and how parents don't understand because they are older and they didn't grow up with the internet. And now parents our age understand this, and I think that there will be a kind of a shift there because we know how to do those types of security controls.
Exactly.
We just have to stay ahead of them as they get older. And
That's right.
Right, exactly.
I think part of it, number one, being involved. Number two, you know, creating almost like there's a parent who did this, like a terms of service of sorts, like an agreement. Like, okay, you can have your own smartphone if you all these rules. Like you could find it. I'm sure it was an article that was done, several articles.
Kid Euless, I love it.
It was a contract. It was basically a kid's contract for a smartphone. So, like, my perspective is the moment you know, every account you have, every single one of them, we know the username, we know the password, and not to say we're going to use it, but we're just going to that's just the rule. And if you have an account, if we find out that you have an account that you're using that you haven't told us about, your rights are gone. They're revoked. You know, like, just you lost the privilege. So give them when you give them a chance, when you give them that ability, but still make it very clear that you're still very involved as a parent should be. You know, just because it doesn't mean you have to, you know, rule over their lives with an iron fist. You know, give them enough value of, okay, these are the things that you want to do with these things. But then the moment you see, this happens all the time, even within, like, families all the time. Like, you'll see my dad has seen relatives post things that are just like, what? Like, why are you sharing that? Like, because their parents aren't paying attention. Right. Like, the moment the parent stops paying attention, to me, is the moment the parent stops being a parent. As a parent, your job is to pay attention.
That's true. But let's all start taking bets on when Jedi gets a little older, she's going to break that contract every, like, 50 minutes and be like, Daddy, I'm so sorry. It'll never happen again.
Oh, really? It's never going to happen again. It's not going to happen again because you've lost internet access for a year.
but Chris isn't anticipating Chris isn't anticipating that in the future there isn't going to be Wi-Fi anymore. It's just going to be wireless internet everywhere. There's going to be 400 wireless networks per cubic inch of the planet, and everybody's got to wear radioactive skin repellent.
My hope is to instill enough ethical. Enough of an ethical foundation such that I won't have to face those problems, so that I won't have to raise a Jerry Berg.
I can't argue with that. My parents would completely agree with you on that one. I was kind of a little shit growing up. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Nothing's changed.
No, dude. This is the great thing. Hey, hold on, wait. This is the great thing. This is one thing I love about my life is that I was a hoodlum when I was growing up. But I learned so many bad things by watching my parents' example because my parents, they should have never had children. I'm going to throw that out there right now. But because they did so many things wrong raising me, it's like I guess I kind of learned by proxy how to do all the things right. Because all I got to do is just not do anything they did, and I'm good. Like, it's like
that's why you can learn in any situation.
You can learn in any situation. It's just I flipped that switch when I moved out when I was like 17, and I was like, you know what? As long as I don't do anything that they did while I was growing up, I'm going to be fine. And yeah, so far so good, right? I mean, I'm doing all right. Thanks, parent. Thank you. Thank you for not monitoring anything I did. Thank you for not knowing what a modem was. All right.
Yeah, you're doing all right,
I'm doing all right. Yes, I am.
You're doing all right.
I got this fancy microphone, and I got a light source. It's great.
Mike and Andy asks if your content, yes, if your content is solid, if you do all the social media outlets, talk with everyone you can, what is the best way to get your videos noticed without spamming anything?
Have someone else spam them.
Yes. Right. Sometimes you have to create content that's worth sharing. That's what it boils down to, and that's being genuine. It's being thorough. It's creating a good, whatever your end game, that goal is. But here's the thing you have to also consider. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. I mean, like tons. Like there's always going to be something else to pay attention to. And there's always, and the people who are watching you may very well be also creating things. And when you become a creator, that's your life. So the people who create aren't watching because they're creating. So there's a lot of things at play. But the way I always look at it is there are so many things going on that it just doesn't surprise me. The amount of attention is dwindling. The amount of attention that anybody gets is going to continue to dwindle because that's the one the one thing in the world that we can't get enough of is attention, because we all have a certain we're paying attention to this right now. There's only so many things that one person can do at any point in time, and I think that's the biggest hurdle that you have to overcome beyond just doing all the right things and replying to all the right people and doing all those things. There's a value to that, but it's never a guarantee for what's going to take you from point A to point B, because there's a billion other things going on at any given time.
I would add to that, though, that the biggest thing that you can do to get yourself noticed is to be unique. Just that's just to be yourself. Like, I see so many people that come to me and they're like, hey, what should I do in my vlog? What should I say in my vlog? What should I do in my video? What should I say? What software should I use? No, go find your own identity. The software one's probably an okay question to ask, but still, you have to find your own identity. You have to be yourself, because if you try to be somebody else, you'll never succeed. That whole creating a character thing in rare cases it works.
Right.
But it's so impossibly hard to maintain. It's like you just have to be you. And the other thing is, make content that you would want to watch, because when you share it with somebody, you need them to share it with somebody, and you need them to share it with somebody.
Definitely.
And the best way to do that is to try to do interesting stuff, find interesting things, find things that are unique. And if you look around, it's actually not that hard to find things that are unique. I watch YouTube videos every day where I'm like, oh my God, what did I just watch? I mean, it's not in a good way. It's like, what did I just watch? This makes no sense. It's that whole Vine and Instagram craze thing kind of going on now. Like, some guy will just be talking to the camera and somebody will throw a garbage can at him, you know? And I'm like, what just happened? And it's got like 2 million views. And I'm like, oh, why is that? It's because people have to share that. When you experience something like that, you're like, nobody's going to believe this. And they're going to pass it on. So it's like,
those are the viral videos like that, though. See, like if you're doing a daily vlog, like you said, it's just you have to be yourself. You can't try to be Shay Carl. You can't try to be Charles Trippy or Clintus. You just got to be yourself so that you get your own niche. I mean, it's your life. Don't be somebody. Try to be somebody else's life. Like, I mean,
right. It is good to get the viral video every once in a while to bring in a wave of people that'll then stay and watch the other stuff. Definitely. Like, a lot of my viewers will come in because of one video. They'll be like, oh man, I really like your 3D video, but now I watch everything you do. And I'm like, wow.
Like you're saying about your character, really cool. Though, you can't just be a character when you're doing a daily vlog, because there's no way you can keep that up every single day. So you got to be yourself.
Right, you can't keep that up.
It may be fun to be a character for a day or a week or a month, but if you're in it for years, there's no way you can pretend to be somebody else for years. You got to be yourself, or else you'll kill yourself.
I've actually answered this question multiple times. Someone mentioned in the comments they heard me on the Chris Cerrone show. I was on there, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago, and one of the questions that they asked me on there was kind of similar to Mike's question: is, you know, if you're doing all the quote unquote right things, how do you grow your audience? How do you get more subscribers and whatnot? And really, it comes down to three things. If you're doing all the right things, if you're producing shareable content, if you're producing great content, and something consistently can do on a consistent basis, whether that's daily, weekly, a couple times a week, whatever it is, it comes down to three major things. One is what Eric said, right? The viral video, something that's completely shareable, like OMG, can't believe this just happened. You've got to see this, right? So you've got those videos. You've got the ones that get shared by someone predominant, right? So someone, great example, Chris Pirillo. He came in one of my live chats real early on, and he just commented. He was trolling me, being funny, it was awesome. But his comment showed up on his feed, which at the time he had 200-something thousand subscribers, and I immediately got this huge surge of viewers. I went from like 20 to 100 views in like 5 minutes, and I couldn't understand it. And later on I figured it out, but at first I was like, where'd all these viewers come from? Holy crap. Same concept, right? If someone like a Shay Carl or a Charles Trippy shares one of your videos, the odds are you're going to get a small little bump, a little surge. Right?
Yeah.
It's not going to be like the whole, like his 2 million subscribers are going to come over, but you're going to get a small little bump of people that pay attention, that listen, and do what they do, right? So that's the second thing. And then the third thing is pure, unadulterated luck. People finding videos via Google, via YouTube.
It's true.
Right?
That is.
And that's kind of where I've gotten lucky and I've fallen into. Like, if you do a search for dirt bike right now on YouTube, you're going to find 5 or 6 of my videos on that front page. And I've produced enough of that content. We go right in. What?
Oh, there he is. He's the number 1 hit.
Okay, I'm not joking.
But Clintus, if you search for dirtbag on Twitter,
No, then you just find Chris.
no, damn it, Jerry! If you search for dirtbag on YouTube, you find Jerry.
No, you search for 3D printing on YouTube, you find Jerry. You search for
But
dirtbag.
that's the third thing, is just pure luck of Google SEO and whatnot. And like I said, I've been making videos since 2006, so I have a very long catalog of videos, and they're more niche, right? They're not the daily I've been doing daily for more than 2 years, a little over 2 years. So my dirt bike videos are just dirt bike videos. My camping videos are just camping videos. And those are the ones that when people search for them and click them, they watch more of them. Because one of my drawbacks, right, one of the things that hurts me doing daily vlogs is that when I do a dirt bike video and the thumbnail is dirt bike and dirt bike's in the title and it goes up on the search rankings, only a minute or 2 of it is dirt biking, and then the rest of it's my day, right? Because I'm a daily vlogger. And so the drop-off rate is just ridiculous. People come for dirt bikes, they watch the first 2 minutes and go, oh, okay, well, he's done dirt biking, peace out. Yeah. And so I've got this like 20% watch time on this really popular video. And so that becomes, because the majority of my views are coming from that video for the month, my watch time is in the toilet because of that, right? Yeah. So it's kind of a catch-22. It's a catch-22. And so to Mike's question, right, if you're doing all the right things, it's just a matter of time. That's what it really comes down to. It's just a matter of time when one of those 3 things pops off, or it'll just organically happen in the course of 5-10 years. It is what it is.
That's the thing, is it takes time.
It does.
This is why, but honestly, Clintus, to the point of why I want to do like a daddy vlogger hangout like every week in, well, typically the vlog channel, that's why. It's the collaboration, even though we can't be in the same room, we're talking about the same topics, we kind of do the same kind of thing with our families. A family vlogging thing is a way to kind of, oh, I watch Clintus, I might also like the Funny Rats, I might also like Eric, I also might like Jerry. So it's a chance of branching out in a more targeted fashion with people who are generally good people. You wouldn't be here if I didn't think you were a good person. Except for Jerry. He's kind of like, he's
Why
the
you gotta do that, Chris?
He's
Why
the
do you gotta
token
break that?
dirtbag. We need to have one, and I didn't want to be it, so I had to bring Jerry in. So I'm first than me. So, but I want to do even for the geek lifestyle stuff. The channel this is currently being broadcast into, because honestly, this is a good hangout. It's like great YouTube tips and discussion that I don't normally get to do, and it's nice to have it with other geeky fathers. Basically, it's pretty neat. So this really worked out better than I could have expected. But I want to do this type of hangout, not just like family vlogger, but I want to do the same thing with techier, geekier YouTubers that have heavy tech or geeky type of audience, like Andre from Black Nerd Comedy, or like potentially Lamar Wilson. He's definitely a geek, although he's smarter to kind of stay away from the tech stuff, or Marquez Brownlee, Jerry, etc. Because those type of collaboration efforts help raise awareness of what else is going on and give people a chance of expanding their own connection points through those trusted connections. And to me, the bigger value in a quote-unquote subscriber, or followers are fickle. Fans are forever. And you find more fans by connecting, vicariously through a trusted source. This is the same thing with advice. You don't just turn to anybody on YouTube for advice. You go to the people you trust. People ask me, what should I do in this situation, because they trust me. And it's that trust that it doesn't always happen with like a family vlog, but once you've established, some amount of credibility in a certain arena, that level of trust deepens because you've established it over time. So there's never such a thing as an overnight success. It's so elusive, and that's the one thing that some people don't understand. And the more time that goes on, the more people quote-unquote YouTubing, the more people are putting their lives out there, the more difficult it is to establish yourself as something or someone, which is all the more reason you have to step beyond just the regular rigmarole of posting a video, sharing, commenting, engaging, doing the things that everybody does. You have to think beyond that. Like, where else are you engaging? Where are you commenting? How frequently? Is it in a certain respect? Where are you building your credibility? Does that trickle into how people perceive you and what box they place you in their mind? I mean, it's bigger than just those simple running down the tasks of, I did this, nothing's happening. It takes time. It takes connecting with other people who are not just similar, but they share the same ideals.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there are a lot of family vloggers who are into sports, but that's okay. I don't need to agree with 110% or be the same person to know that we share this common experience of putting our lives out there and connecting with other people, having fun, and basically supporting a family by being a family. And I think it's fantastic, but it's not easy. It's not simple, and it's definitely not overnight.
Right.
Amen.
People that think the whole vlogging thing is easy, I mean, videos, period. To think it, oh man, ever since I stopped doing my day job and I started doing this, I think I expend way more energy than what I receive back doing this than I ever did at my IT job. It's like, because the thing is, everybody's like, oh, all you're doing is just recording some stuff and editing. No, what I'm trying to do is be mildly entertaining and informative for all day, and then go home completely tired, edit together, upload it, and then deal with trolls kicking me in the balls all day long. It's like there's other aspects to it. There really are. Now we do it because we love it. I mean, at the end of the day, you love it. It's just like an MMC fighter likes to go get his ass kicked in the ring. As long as he wins in the end, that's kind of like the vlogger mentality. It's like we're willing to step in the ring and take some licks. It's fun as long as we come out the other side looking pretty and smelling like a rose. And that's kind of the way I look at it each and every day that I wake up. The difference is I don't do a daily vlog. I do a vlog when I feel like it, and the rest of the time I do tech videos, which Chris has said, it's a pretty hostile space, and I will agree with that. People definitely have opinions about devices and electronics, and they're strong, not unlike religious opinions, actually. I mean, they really come at you guns blazing. And at first, I used to just laugh at Oz, and I'm like, oh my God, seriously, I have two grown adults. Like, well, I'm presuming they're adults because their grammar's halfway decent. But you got two people that are basically just beating each other up over hundreds of lines in a comment over like the size of a battery being like 1,000 milliamp hours off or something. And you're like, what? Like, it's laughable. But at the end of the day, people that say that this isn't a job, oh God. How do I say this politely? Screw you, I guess. Like, it is. It totally is. Totally a job. Oh, and one more thing before I forget. I wanted to dovetail one thing off what Clint has said earlier, and that as far as getting noticed and having your channel when you're in a sea, you're a tiny fish in this huge sea that's growing every single day. One thing that I found that's very helpful, and see, there's only like 96 people in here that are going to get to hear this, so it won't ruin it for everybody, is don't beg people to retweet your videos and to share your videos and everything. Strategically place them. That's what you do. If you have a video that's about fixing a dirt bike, and Clint just posts a vlog and he's like, my dirt bike's a piece of crap, the carburetor on it's blown out, and you happen to have that video, that's the time. Post time when to start kind of nudging that and say, hey, you might want to watch this. I find that I share way more content when people approach me and it's actually something that I want to see or something that's relevant to the conversation versus people just saying, hey, retweet this, hey, share this, spam this. The spamming never works, but if it's meaningful and the placement of it's meaningful and it meets with the context of what's going on in that space, it usually just gets picked up organically. And that's what I like to do personally.
Agreed. Totally agree with that.
Yeah.
So
are you talking about like sharing videos on like other blogs and stuff like that? Or
like blog. I'm talking about like forums and like Twitter, social networks like Twitter and Facebook, and even Instagram and stuff like that. Like for instance, let me give you a good example of what worked for me. Is I had my video game room tour that I made, and it's one of my most popular videos. It's about to hit 1 million views, and so I put it up there, and it went all right for like the first couple of weeks. But then some big YouTubers on Twitter were talking about their setups and they were posting pictures, and all I did was just respond to their tweet where it's like, hey, check out my game room, and I just respond with something kind of like snarky, like, one up ya, just something to get their attention, and then go watch the video and be like, holy crap, this guy has just gone completely insane, and they would retweet it, and then boom, everybody retweet it, boom, now I'm almost 1 million hits on that. So it's because of the context. Now, if I had just started messaging those big YouTubers and saying, hey, dude, can you retweet my setup? Hey, dude, look at my setup. And it wasn't in context with what they were currently thinking about or what they were currently dealing with on their stream, then it's not going to get picked up. It's almost going to come off annoying.
Yeah.
And so, and I do that a lot now with my videos because I have a huge cache of videos now, like range in 3D printing to product reviews. If a big YouTuber comes out and says, hey, what do you guys think about such and such product, and I have a video on it, I'll reply back like, hey, I reviewed it, I thought it was pretty good or pretty bad, here's my video. And usually if they go watch it and they like it, what do? They retweet it, right?
Yep.
So it's not a guarantee, but that's your best way to kind of smoothly introduce it into a conversation and have it come out instead of just, hey, retweet this. I made a video about setting an Xbox on fire. Retweet this.
That's
well, that
also,
one but I'm just saying.
That also goes to knowing the community that you're trying to get into as well, because you're going to want to be able to share those types of that type of content with people who are engaged in that particular community. Kind of like with us, we're trying to do the Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover Get Out of Debt thing. And so whenever I see an opportunity to talk to someone in that community, they will more than likely be engaged with it because they are interested in how we're doing with ours, and I'm interested in how they're doing with theirs.
Exactly.
By the way, we should probably start wrapping up, just so you have final thoughts and stuff.
I thought we were doing this for 24 hours. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was. Yeah, wasn't this like a 24-hour charity event?
Yeah.
I wasn't even invited. I'd like push my way into this.
This is Chris's kids.
Oh my gosh.
Telethon.
Yeah, Chris kind of forgot to invite me to this because I'm such a dirtbag.
I
forgot.
I've been a little busy today.
There's too many
No,
guys.
I think Chris is just punishing me because I didn't show up to the last one when he invited me. He's like, screw that Jerry guy. Nobody likes that narcissistic guy. No, this is fun though. I'd like to. What is this going to be, like a weekly thing or?
Well, yeah, the daddy thing. This turned into like a YouTube discussion, which is fine. It's just how it evolved.
Well, he's giving the advice, right? Come on.
Answering the questions.
Yeah, we had good questions.
Something like that.
Yeah, we're just
Do
doing
people
what we're
like
told,
Tuesday
Chris.
nights?
I'm good with Tuesday nights.
Tuesday's a pretty good night. I don't think I got a lot going on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday should be good.
Yep.
People can
Ladies, deep in
enter
thought.
in the comments too.
Well,
I will say that this time is a little late. The last time we did it, I think it was an hour before, and that was a little bit better for me.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I think 8 o'clock Pacific time would work better for me.
I stay up till like 3 or 4 a.m., so I'm good.
For me, I think the time is good. I see Lane's point because we're both in Central, so if it started at 8, it might be good. But during baseball seasons, I'm having practice until like 7:30 or so I have to be rushing home to get back. But I think 9 o'clock works perfectly for me, so I don't care whichever.
I'll let you guys work out of time because I rarely leave the house. I mean,
just if it's this later time for me, it'll be after I'm done editing my vlog, I'll jump on and be for the last half of it unless I get it done earlier or something.
in hindsight, I should have vlogged this entire thing.
That's on YouTube.
No, but from my perspective.
Well, thank you to Chris and Liz for putting this on again.
Absolutely.
Huge success. Hopefully the audience enjoyed it. And Chris, once you get your Microsoft deal worked out, if we can put it back on the main channel, which I think a lot of audience members will didn't see this or didn't find this because they are on Twitter or whatever. They just see in a subscription box.
Yeah, we'll get that added. Liz will help round up the details.
Yeah.
It's okay. I kind of like that small audience because now everybody didn't get all that awesome information that's going to make them all super successful vloggers, right? We don't need that competition, guys. We really don't. There's always some funnier, cuter guy out there. I'm just saying.
Thanks for joining.
Yep. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Remember I waved down, Chris?
Yeah, I think we're about good.
All right, well, I'm just gonna
We're
wave
all
then.
about happy.
Yeah, me too.
And
All right.
yay!
Everybody
At this
wave,
point,
wave,
we're
wave.
going to leave
Awkward
you to
wave.
your own
Yay.
devices.